everyone, welcome back. It's Atia. If you're new, thanks for checking me out. And if you're not, thanks for coming on back. Don't forget to subscribe. So today's video is going to be on my winter break reading list. I'm home for 4.5 weeks, so I set a goal for myself to read at least one book a week, but I'm thinking that I should make it 2. I brought home a bunch of books from school with me, so we're just going to go through and see what's there. Also, my brother has parakeets and they live in my room, so they're just like chirping away in the background. I'm gonna try and figure a way to like filter them out in editing, but if I don't do that and I'm not able to do that, that's the noise in the background. So the first book on my winter break reading list is The Air by Kiera Cass. This is the 4th book in the series. This is, well, I can't even like say without giving it away, but yeah, I read the first 3 books this past semester. Absolutely fell in love with the series. Did not expect to like it as much. So I was like, I need to read the other 2 books. As you can see, I've already started it. And this is actually book number 2 of the week. Book number 1, which I'm not including in the video because I already read it. But yeah, book number 1 is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles, and I actually just went out yesterday and bought the second book. So the first book is called Cinder, the second book is called Scarlet, and it mixes fairy tales and like the Hunger Games, kind of. It's just a very interesting and unique take on the fairy tales. So Cinder is, of course, Cinderella. Scarlet is, as you can probably tell by the cover, Little Red Riding Hood. So I've actually really enjoyed reading this. I finished Cinder yesterday and then decided to give myself a little bit of break. That's why I'm reading The Air right now. And then I'll be back to Scarlet probably like in a day or 2 or something like that. Okay, so those 2 books I got yesterday. I also got this book yesterday, Mirror Mirror by Cara Delevingne. I never know how to pronounce this girl's name. Never know. I'm gonna add a picture. She's a supermodel and an actress, and she's now a novelist. What first attracted me to this book wasn't even her name, it was the cover. I just think the cover is really interesting. And then I was like, is that really the person I think it is? And it was. So I bought it. If you know anything about me, you know that I have loved Rick Riordan's books since I was in, I want to say elementary school is when The Lightning Thief, for me at least, when The Lightning Thief first came out, which was a Percy Jackson series, and here we are 5 series later, I think. And I am still absolutely in love with his writing and the characters. So this is the series, this Magnus Chase series. It's the Norse mythology series. And if you don't know what Norse mythology is, if you know the Avengers, Thor, he is part of Norse mythology. Thor, Loki, Odin, things like that. So I've had this book for a while now. I think it came out in like September, maybe October, and I just never really got around to reading it. So I'm definitely interested in reading this over winter break. This book I bought on a whim a couple months ago at Barnes & Noble's. This is Dividing Eden, and I just saw the cover is what really got me. It's a pretty thin-ish book in the grand scheme of things. I don't see it taking me that long to finish. But it's essentially about twins who end up being in line for the throne, and they have to like battle it out because they're twins, and I guess they don't know which one was born first because it was never relevant. I don't know how that works, but yeah, I'm super excited. This is another one where I was just passing by in Barnes & Noble and I saw the cover and I was like, wow! You know, they say don't judge a book by its cover, which I don't. Some books I love have really horrid covers, but I will say that it does make a difference, you know, like a lot of these books, Girls Made of Snow and Glass, Dividing Eden, Mirror Mirror, a lot of them I didn't really know anything about, and it was because of the cover that I just stopped and was like, I am interested in this. And I of course read back like the envelope or whatever. This is like a spin on Snow White, I'm pretty sure, and if you ever seen Once Upon a Time, like how the stepmother and now the stepdaughter have to like coexist and they get along and then something tears them apart, blah blah blah. That's kind of what this is going in the vein of, and I've always thought that was a fascinating take on the story, so I'm excited. I've had this for over a year, I think. This is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I've read Eleanor and Park, which is also by them, fantastic book, like one of my favorite young adult novels. And so I got this one because I saw that they were the author. It's about this girl who goes away to college. She's like heavily in love with this famous person, this famous writer, and she has a sister who like essentially doesn't want to be attached at the hip anymore, which is understandable. And so this is basically about her finding her way through all of that. It doesn't sound as interesting as Eleanor Park, which is maybe why I haven't opened it yet, because I don't want to be let down. But at the same time, like, I've had it for over a year. I feel like it's time. So this next one is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. Hope I pronounced that correctly. I've had this for a couple months, and I keep forgetting I have it. That's really what's getting me with this one. I brought it to school with me, or I bought it during the summer and forgot that I had it during the summer. Brought it to school with me, put it in like the books behind the books I usually see every day, forgot about it until I was packing for winter break and was like, I'm going to take this home and I am definitely going to read it. I'll read the back. Under the Martial Empire, defiance is met with death. Ooh, interesting. Laya and her family do not challenge the Empire. They've seen what happens to those who do. But when Laya's brother is arrested for treason, she is forced to make a decision. In exchange for help from rebels who promise to rescue her brother, she will risk her life to spy for them within the Empire's greatest military academy. There, Laya meets Elias, the school's finest soldier, and secretly its most unwilling. And then there's a little bit more. This just sounds so intriguing to me. I'm a sucker for like futuristic, dystopian, young adult novels that have a hint of romance. I don't know what it is, but I love them. And it's also nice, like, I love a good love triangle, but sometimes I like when it's just really straightforward, you know? This one, I'm ashamed that I have not started this one yet. This is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. You might also know her as the brilliant author of the Shadowhunters series. I guess this is a Shadowhunters novel. So it's the first one, which was the, the City of Bones series. That whole thing. I loved those books. I could not stop reading them. When I heard that she was coming out with another book series, what? And then she has another one? I was like, I have to get this. This is a thick book though, which is probably why I haven't started. Can we just acknowledge that for a second? Yeah, that's probably why I haven't started it, because I knew if I started it during the school year, I would take forever and a year to finish this book. I'm a quick reader, but when I'm at school, like, reading just disappears for me. There's also Kindred, which I've also had for over a year, by Octavia Butler. I've heard such good things about this. This is apparently about a modern Black woman who somehow gets like thrown back in time during, I think it's slavery. What? So I'm ashamed that I have not read this yet. I also want to read this and get the graphic novel version. I'm just super excited. There are more books I have that I could read over this winter break, but these are the ones that I'm super excited about. Super sad that I didn't get to read them this past semester, but if you have any suggestions for winter break or just in the future, I'm always taking suggestions to my to-read list. Please put them down in the comments below. That's basically the end of this video. You know what to do. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow all of my social media as well as check out my blog. And I will see you next time. Bye. My internship supervisor touches my braid, right? And starts like fondling it and like running it through her fingers and all this other stuff. And I think she was about to give me a compliment. I could see in her